I've built another huge castle. This time it's packed with play features. Walls shall explode, witches shall be burned, and much more, so stick around. Let's get a little background on this whole castle first though. This is part of my huge castle series and it's belonging to the Yellow Raven Knights. This sits on the northeast of the main continent that you can find out more about in my fantasy map video. The Raven Knights descended from the Vikings further northeast and have good relations with them, but they have enemies to the south and west of them. Let's take a look at the knights for this mock. I've got 6 tournament knights and I've given them some different helmets to add a bit of variety to them. And we also have the king, who's using a Kylo Ren torso piece that looks like it would be an expensive material fit for a king, and he's equipped with this custom cape that I got from Firestar Toys. We've got a couple of simple catapults set up on 2 of the corner towers. These are designed for round bricks, but I think it's far more enjoyable to put minifigure heads in here and fling those at the enemy. And the next play feature is the portcullis. I built a few of these before and went for the most simple option to use a string to manually lift it up and down. When the portcullis is down, any enemies trying to get in are at risk of the murder hole. A murder hole was used to pour boiling hot oil on the enemy when they were trying to breach the gate. Let's see it in action. So what happens if you really fancy a girl in medieval times and she rejects you? That's simple. You just go tell the nearest guard that she's a witch. And what happens if little Timmy gets caught stealing carrots? Okay, so that's enough of the dark play features. Let's spin round to the other side of the castle where we have the exploding wall, inspired by one of my favourite scenes from Lord of the Rings. To build this, I've just used a Technic axle that pushes a lever up and that pops the 2 sides of the wall off. That just about does it for the play features on the outside. There's a few more to see on the inside, so let's go. First, on the lowest floor, I've built a dungeon, and using these gears either side, we can lift up the skeleton. And up on the next floor, there is the throne room, which unfortunately doesn't have any play features. And up on the floor above that, we have the play feature that I'm ashamed to say inspired this whole video. It's a medieval Lego toilet. Make sure you have a peasant ready with the poo cart down below, and when you're finished, you flush by pulling out this tray, and the poo falls down and out of this hole in the wall. And I guess now is the perfect time really to remind you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment to make sure you never miss out on anything like this again. And next, on the same floor, we have a secret dagger hidden behind the bust. And then this bookshelf can be moved to reveal a secret room. Let's see what the king is hiding inside. Some gold, some jewels, looks like a few magazines in there as well. What are those? Whoa, stud magazine. Was not expecting that. So here's a bit more of an in-depth review of this mock if you're still here. I wanted to try and improve my snot rockwork techniques for this build, and I've used slopes and wedge plates all the way around the base. In the towers, there's a window technique that you'll see used in a lot of castle mocks. It's very simple and just requires a few snot bricks and some cheese slopes. As this is supposed to be on rockier terrain, I've left the plant life to a minimum. I just like having small pockets of green that pop out here and there. I've also shrunk these trees that I've used in a few previous videos, and also built a couple more with the extra pieces. I'm a huge fan of how these leaves fit together. I struggled with the shape of the keep in this mock as I was running low on light grey pieces, because I'd been very wasteful with them while building the walls. So I opted for this medieval house style design, which I do think looks a little out of place. I originally wanted to have a very tall tower to have the toilet on the top floor and a stone grey keep. Thank you for watching if you're still here. Make sure you leave a comment.